Hello, Nostal Garden friends. Imagine turning everyday discards into blooming wonders that fill your tiny outdoor spot with warmth and whimsy. Today, dive into 20 upcycled planter ideas that blend creativity, sustainability, and that cozy nostalgic vibe you love. Whether you're a beginner or seasoned grower, these simple projects will inspire you to rethink your space and watch it flourish. Stick around for easy tips and heartwarming transformations that make gardening feel like magic. In this tiny garden, imagine a weathered wooden shelf lined with mismatched vintage teacups, each one cradling a small succulent or delicate flower. The chipped rims and faded patterns add a gentle sense of nostalgia, while morning light touches the glossy leaves. These little planters invite you to pause and look closer, proving that even the smallest forgotten items can bring new life and quiet charm to a compact outdoor space. Picture a narrow garden fence transformed into a cheerful herb wall using old tin cans painted in soft pastel colors. Each can hold fragrant basil, mint, or rosemary, their leaves spilling over the edges in this tiny space. The brushed paint, small dents, and visible labels hint at their past lives. Together, they create a playful, budget-friendly display that combines sustainability, color, and practicality in a very limited garden area. In a cozy corner of a tiny garden, a worn wooden crate becomes a charming flower box packed with marigolds, pansies, and trailing ivy. The rough texture of the wood contrasts with bright petals and soft green leaves. Resting on simple bricks, this crate raises the plants to eye level, making the space feel more layered and alive. It shows how one simple salvage piece can become a focal point in a small outdoor retreat. Imagine an old galvanized bucket placed beside a narrow garden path, now brimming with daisies, petunias, and small grasses. The metal surface shows scratches and rust, telling its story, while colorful blossoms soften its industrial look. In a tiny garden, this simple upcycled planter doubles as both decoration and container. Its handle and ridges catch the light, drawing the eye and adding rustic character without taking much precious space. On a compact balcony garden, an old suitcase sits open on a small table, its interior lined with plastic and soil, overflowing with moss, violas, and trailing vines. The aged leather, worn handle, and travel stickers give it a storybook charm. Plants spill gently over the edges, creating the feeling of a tiny world hidden inside. This unexpected planter turns limited space into a whimsical destination, perfect for dreamers who love vintage details. In the heart of a tiny garden, a broken wooden chair finds a new purpose as a throne of flowers. The missing seat is replaced by a generously filled planter, overflowing with cascading blooms and greenery. Faded paint and cracked slats add personality, while the vertical backrest frames the arrangement like a rustic picture. Nestled on a small patio, this piece becomes both sculpture and planter, turning damage into a charming, eye-catching feature. Along a short, winding path in a tiny garden, old rain boots stand in a playful row, each one planted with colorful blooms and herbs. Scuffed rubber, splashes of dried mud, and bright patterns speak of many adventures in the rain. Now, these boots guide visitors through the space like cheerful sentries. Their tall shapes and narrow footprints make them perfect for tight areas, adding personality, color, and a touch of childhood nostalgia. Above a small seating nook in a tiny garden, a colorful metal colander hangs by simple chains, transformed into a charming hanging planter. Cascading vines and trailing flowers spill through the drainage holes, creating a natural curtain of greenery. The chipped enamel and old handle add character, catching light in unexpected ways. Suspended over a compact space, this upcycled kitchen piece brings height, movement, and whimsy to the garden without crowding the ground. In a shaded corner of a tiny garden, an old metal birdcage hangs from a hook filled with ferns, ivy, and delicate blossoms. The curved bars and rusted details frame the plants like living artwork, while leaves weave through the openings. Soft light filters through, casting intricate shadows on the ground below. This small, elevated planter adds romance and mystery, turning a neglected spot into a miniature sanctuary that feels both secret and enchanting. Envision a whimsical tower made from stacked bowls and tins in the middle of a tiny garden, each layer planted with different small flowers and succulents. The pieces lean slightly, adding character, while patterns and colors create a playful rhythm. Despite its small footprint, The vertical design offers multiple levels of greenery. This tower shows how upcycling everyday dishes can build height and interest, making even the smallest outdoor space feel dynamic and full of personality. Against a narrow wall in a tiny garden, a rescued wooden pallet stands upright, transformed into a vertical herb garden. Small pots and pockets tuck into the slats, each labeled with names like thyme, parsley, and oregano. The rough wood grain and visible screws give it a handcrafted feel. In such a limited area, this structure creates a lush green panel, filling the vertical space with texture, fragrance, and practical, easy-to-reach ingredients for everyday cooking. On a slim garden shelf, humble plastic food containers are disguised by jute twine, forming a neat row of rustic seedling planters. Tiny sprouts push through dark soil, promising future herbs and flowers. The contrast between soft natural fibers and simple plastic hints at thoughtful reuse. In a tiny garden, this setup keeps everything organized and beautiful, turning recycling into a design feature while making even the earliest stages of growth feel special and intentional. In a tiny garden vignette, a vintage typewriter sits atop a low table, its metal frame filled with soil and plump succulents where paper once rolled. The keys peek out beneath the foliage, letters worn from years of use. Sunlight highlights the mix of rusty metal, green rosettes, and small pebbles. This planter feels like a frozen moment from an unwritten story, transforming a forgotten object into a poetic centerpiece in a very small outdoor space. Tucked against a brick wall in a tiny garden, an old enamel sink lives a second life as a deep planter packed with daisies, lavender, and trailing lobelia. The chipped edges and vintage faucet bring instant cottage charm. Flowers spill over the lip, softening the hard lines of the basin. Set on simple supports, this sink creates a miniature flower meadow, proving that even a discarded fixture can become a beautiful functional feature in a compact garden. In one cozy corner of a tiny garden, a vintage bicycle leans gently against a wall, its front basket transformed into a lush planter. Cocoa fiber lines the basket, holding a tumble of petunias, ivy, and tiny daisies. The slightly rusty frame and worn leather seat add character, while plants soften every edge. This simple scene feels like a paused journey, turning limited space into a romantic snapshot that combines movement, memory, and fresh blooms. On a small patch of ground in a tiny garden, burlap coffee sacks stand like soft, rustic grow bags filled with tomatoes, peppers, and herbs. Printed logos and faded text give each bag its own story. The fabric gently folds and creases around the soil, creating a casual, earthy look. These flexible containers fit neatly into corners and along paths, offering a practical and charming way to grow more food in a very limited space. At the center of a tiny garden table, a cluster of repurposed glass candle jars holds an assortment of small succulents. Clear glass reveals layers of soil, sand, and pebbles, turning each jar into a miniature landscape. Reflections of nearby leaves dance on the smooth surfaces, catching light from every angle. This simple arrangement brings a modern yet cozy feeling, perfect for tiny spaces where subtle details, texture, and gentle color variations make a big visual impact. Along a narrow wall in a tiny garden, stacked wooden wine boxes create tiered levels of planting filled with strawberries, herbs, and small flowers. Branded logos and old shipping marks remain visible, adding a sense of history. The layered boxes step upward, making the most of vertical space while keeping everything within easy reach. This arrangement feels both organized and abundant, turning a plain corner into a productive and beautifully textured mini garden structure. Hanging near a small bench in a tiny garden, an old metal lantern becomes a magical terrarium-style planter. Its glass panels are removed, revealing a tiny world of moss, ferns, and miniature plants inside. The candle holder remains, now surrounded by greenery, while fairy lights twinkle softly nearby. This intimate display invites closer inspection, creating a sense of wonder. It proves that even the smallest container can hold an entire imagined landscape in a compact space. Along the railing of a tiny balcony garden, large plastic bottles are cut and transformed into slim planters, each one filled with cheerful flowers and herbs. Twine or wire suspends them securely, while clear plastic reveals soil and roots. Raindrops cling to the surfaces, shimmering in the light. These simple, upcycled containers use almost no floor area, turning a plain railing into a colorful, living border that celebrates creativity, sustainability, and smart use of every inch. We've explored 20 delightful upcycled planter ideas that turn ordinary items into charming features for your small garden, proving that creativity and recycling can create endless beauty in limited spaces. From vintage teacups to clever bottle rails, each one adds personality, sustainability, and a touch of nostalgia to your outdoor haven. If these sparked your imagination, hit that like button to show your support, subscribe for more inspiring garden adventures, and drop a comment below sharing your favorite idea or your own upcycle story. We'd love to hear from you.